Hi guys, it's Omo here. I'm a content creator across the internet and especially for Neko Palace. So today I basically wanted to talk about a sensitive subject. It's not sensitive as such, but it's a touchy subject, and I'm going to talk about them times when you feel insecure and stuff like that, how to deal with it. We need to help each other sometimes, you know what I'm saying? Neko. So, as a content creator who always puts himself out on the internet, and I think this actually goes for most Palace pets, people assume we aren't insecure about ourselves or things like that, but instead I think it's more we don't let our insecurities stop us. I know people go through a hard time quite a bit, especially when, for us as well, we are content creators and there's no one more critical about the work we create than ourselves. And sometimes it can be a bit hard when we are put on this website alongside so many other great content creators. It can sometimes be a bit disencouraging when we don't feel like our stuff is up to standard with theirs. We aren't a competitive website and we take pride in all our greatness. We think we're all great, but sometimes there's obviously that little bit of like mental health creeping in, that insecurity. There's been so many photo sets of mine, and I think Trinket has mentioned she goes through this as well, but basically we create more content than you'll ever see because it goes straight into that trash can. Or maybe not straight into that trash can. Sometimes we spend hours and hours editing our photo sets, videos, and then it goes straight into the trash can. It's rough. So I thought I'd talk about it today and just give my little advice on how to deal with insecurities and feeling like you're not good enough and stuff like that. This isn't just for content creators, it is mainly for them because it's about putting yourself on the internet, but who doesn't have an Instagram nowadays? So it's going to be for you guys too. But I think the one thing you need to remember the most is you are going to be the biggest critiquer of your own work. No one else is going to be so picky. Because you spent hours on it, you notice the flaws, you want it to be perfect because you know how long you've spent on it. Someone else is just going to look at it and see its goodness. They aren't trying to pick fault. You're trying to pick fault because you're trying to improve it. You're trying to get better. But they aren't, because they're just there to enjoy what you make. So just remember, you are the biggest critic. You're the biggest critic of your own work. People aren't going to be judging you as much as you are. It's okay. Just try and remember that. That helps me sometimes, because I took about a 6-month break from YouTube once because I was just not happy with anything I was creating, because I was trained how to use a camera and my videos didn't look like that, so I deleted them. But people reminded me that the people I'm producing the content for probably haven't done a lesson on how to use a camera, so they won't be picking up the faults that I do. I should stop being so harsh on myself, because to them it would still look like I used the camera great. Maybe not perfect, but great. I think another thing is, don't push yourself too hard. If you're having a hard day, don't force yourself. Don't even look in a mirror. If you can't really stand your appearance that day, don't look in a mirror. Try to avoid all reflections and just live as this like miscellaneous blob in the universe. It's okay to live as this miscellaneous blob sometimes. I don't know if that's a good or bad coping mechanism, but as long as it's just for a couple of days, then you're okay. Because sometimes you just want to go about your life while ignoring your actual appearance. I think you also need to remember your strengths. Always, on your good days, think of your strengths. And then on your bad days, remind yourself of them. Like, my strength isn't my hair. So sometimes I'll get on video and I'll be like, oh shite, my hair looks crap. But then I remind myself that's not my talent. My talent isn't my hair being perfect. I'm not a hairstylist. I don't know how to cut hair, and I cut my hair. So my hair isn't expected to be perfect. But you know what I am good at? Editing. I am good at I don't know, but editing, hard work, that's my strengths. So on the weekdays, not weekdays like week and weekend, but on your weekdays, just remind yourself of them strengths. It can be your kindness, how sensitive you are. It can be your eyes, it can be your lips. Anything, just remind yourself of them strengths. But think of them when you're strong, so you can remind yourself of them when you're weak. This goes back on one of the points I made earlier about taking a break and not forcing yourself to do things and just living as a miscellaneous blob. But basically, force yourself to do things sometimes. If it's been a few days of you living as this miscellaneous blob, just get up and do it. Finish the project you're working on, because I think one thing that grows our insecurities a bit is we start a project, we don't feel good about it, we delete it. Start a project, don't feel good about it, delete it. And then suddenly you feel like you're in this endless cycle of always working but getting nowhere. You're hating everything that you do and you don't feel any sense of accomplishment or anything. So if you get into this cycle, finish it. Absolutely finish it. Do it. Do it. Why I say this is because, one, the feedback from other people might encourage you to keep going. It might be like, wow, this is your best piece ever, but you were just being too harsh on yourself. Don't do that. Two, you're judging like an unfinished project, like an unfinished product. Imagine if you judged a cake before you put it in an oven. You can't do that. It's like tasting the flour and be like, no, this cookie is shit. We can't, no, put it in the bin. And you've just thrown a bag of flour in the bin. Don't do that. Your pictures and your videos are the same. They aren't going to look flawless straight out of the camera. Sometimes, like, obviously for some of you, taking it straight from the camera is what you do. But for me and some others, what we do, we go and edit that. We go and edit our videos and we film our videos to look a certain way so we can edit them in post-production. So they aren't meant to be flawless right now. I'm editing this right now. I know if I watch this, I'll be like, that's crap, put it in the bin. But if I edited out all my wrongs, put some words and fancy things on screen, it could be a good video. It's probably going to be okay enough to upload for everyone to see. But even if you finish it and you don't like it enough to publish it, you can keep it to yourself. You can delete it after that, but at least you know you've completed something, and that will help you because it's like a confidence builder. It's like accomplishment. You've accomplished something and that's great. You weren't feeling good about it, but you still did it. You still accomplished it. And I think that's not being a quitter. And not being a quitter is a great personality trait to have. So be hardworking. Don't be a quitter. Go through with it. You started it, finish it. Obviously sometimes you have to cut a project short. If there's a chance to finish it, try your best. Because sometimes we would feel better about 5 finished pieces than we would like 20 files thrown away. Because at least there's something to show for that. The ones you've thrown away, there's nothing to show for that. So you can start feeling a bit insecure, like you ain't really doing much or doing enough or good enough to do good stuff. So finish it. You don't know how it's going to turn out. You just need to take the world easily. And you aren't going to be the best at what you do. If you know there's a certain area where you're failing and you want to be better, then go ahead and tackle that. Don't just feel insecure about it. You're not meant to know everything. You're not meant to be great at everything. You're meant to have fun with it. And say if your lighting is bad in your pictures or your videos, watch tutorials on how to get good lighting, naturally, unnaturally. Invest in lighting equipment. Find your flaws and work on them if they're making you that insecure. You are not meant to know how to use a professional camera back to back. Even like when you get a new phone, you have to find your angles, you know? So our insecurities can get to us sometimes, and even us palace pets here at the palace don't feel great 24/7. Sometimes, more times than not, we feel a bit bad about ourselves and our content, but we keep going, and I think that's what makes Neko Palace work, because we kept going. We've seen websites come and go, but we stayed, and us staying helped us improve, helped us do what we wanted to do. Even when we felt like it wasn't worth it, we didn't give up. We accomplished and finished it. So it went okay. Even when we didn't want to, even when we felt insecure, we finished it. And because we finished it when we really couldn't be bothered, didn't want to because we just felt so insecure, we did it. So, thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope it helped you out a bit, because I obviously face this a lot as a content creator, because I know I'm not the prettiest out there. I know I'm not the most creative or artistic, but I try my best and I slowly improve. My current improvement is to try and work on my cinematics and B-roll, so expect cool stuff. Thank you for joining us here at the Palace. Be sure to subscribe for more Neko goodness. And that's all for Omo.